Good. Do you know, it's not even after morning. It's not after morning. That's how early we are. I've not even got my lights on behind me, and it's actually the morning. Good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Plus. Unless you're watching or listening to this on demand, then good morning from wherever you are watching and listen. Welcome in twitch.tv/Ice Cream Plus. My name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by the men that we call Bibby.
Good morning. We've still got an hour left of the morning. How unbelievable is this?
I know. Imagine having a show that goes live at 10 a.m.-ish, that actually goes live at 10 a.m.-ish. Wow. What a time to be alive. I've got straight hairs. Nice. Welcome in, though. So, yes, I have a call in exactly 1 hour and 2 minutes. So we're going to try and get the show done in about 50, which gives me enough time to get off, get watered, and get set for my call. So we are going to fly through the news today-ish. Welcome in, though. If you don't know who we are, as mentioned, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. Okay, I'll slow it down. I'll keep it legible. We do go live on Twitch at 10 a.m.-ish each and every single weekday, bringing you the biggest, the best, the breaking stories from the world of video games. We give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories, and we want to hear your thoughts and impressions too. If you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved, and we will then give you our thoughts and impressions on your thoughts and impressions, and your thoughts and impressions, and our thoughts and impressions, because it's thoughts and impressions. You get it. You get it.
That's what the show is. You get it.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. Anyway, lots of thoughts and impressions, and it's important that you do share those because we are live on Twitch, but the live stream gets turned into a podcast, a video that goes on YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So there's lots of places where over 105,000 people. It's probably close to 150,000 people now. Let's be honest. We haven't crunched the numbers. Do you know what, babe? We're going to do that next week. We're going to crunch it. We can change.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's crunch them.
So over 105,000 people that we know of have listened and watched this show on demand. So make sure you do get involved on behalf of all those people. Let me jump into the chat, just welcoming those fools. And when I say fools, I mean absolute heroes that are with us today. We have Tito. He says it's okay. The police are on their way. Being on this early can only be a call for help. No comment. OG Bibby says, what's going on, lads? It's actually 10-ish. Thought my Twitch notifications were on the fritz. No comment. And JMK says, I was just thinking that, OG Bibby. It's actually before 11. Once again, no comment. Thank you very much, guys. Welcome in. Do you know what? This is probably going to be the quietest show ever because people are probably sat there just having a brew, tucking into the cereal or the bacon butties or whatever they're eating this Friday morning, thinking, do you know what, Scoop's not going to be live for another couple of hours. We might as well just watch another episode of Emmerdale or whatever people do on a Friday morning. I mean, it probably work, but you know what? Do people watch Emmerdale anymore? Is that still a thing?
People wait for the weekend clearly to watch the omnibuses.
Or crumpets. That's a very good point. So those that might not have been around on Wednesday evening, I was playing PUBG with a whole host of heroes, one of which was Nietzsche, and Nietzsche threw down a challenge. It was kind of like not really throwing it down. He was just opening up the challenge, saying, "Have you eaten 6 crumpets in 2 minutes?" It's pretty much impossible. He says it's like crumpets. You think these are really easy things to eat, but they just stodge, and when you've had like 1 and 2, they start to slow down, and it becomes a little bit impossible. And West was like, "That's bullshit." To be honest, because I can smash through a whole saurine loaf without butter in 2 minutes. So 6 crumpets, easy. And then Nietzsche was like, yeah, but that's 1 whole crumpet, which is 3 or 4 bites-ish, in 20 seconds, over and over and over again 6 times. West was like, yeah, all right then. Anyway, West has put a video in the Discord. Do feel free to go and check the video out. No spoilers, but it's a good watch. So yeah, go fill your boots. Check it out. !Discord in the chat if you want it. Oh, Tito's linked it. There you go. You can just see it right there. !Discord. If you are watching this on demand or anything, the video is in the general chat within our Discord. It's good. It's good. I mean, I didn't realise that West could put that many fingers in his mouth at once. But, if you want to know what I'm about, then feel free to check that. Don't check it. That might not happen. But do feel free to check it out. Tell you what else you should check out. Today's news with me and Bib. Isn't that right, Bib?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the last one of the week, and we have an absolute stonker of a show. I mean, if this show was ever made for me, I think this is definitely the one show that you could probably pick out of the 500 and 34 shows that I think we've done so far.
and then some. There's probably a few else, just sat in the rafters. But anyway, let me just jump into the headlines. So first off, in true Bibby fashion, we jump into a zombie game. This is written by Jordan Midler at VGC, and it says, 8 years after its announcement, Dead Island 2 could finally release this year. The game was announced in 2014. What? Okay, so that is kicking things off. And if you thought that was a little bit Bibby, let's get a little bit Bibby. As Jordan Midler, sticking with him at VGC, has another zombie article. This one says Resident Evil 4's remake will reportedly be announced soon. The game will make changes to the original's tone, it is claimed. You excited for a little bit of zombiness, Bib?
Well, if I'm not, then this show's going to be a write-off, isn't it?
After that, we will wrap up the news with a few other articles. We have a Warner Brothers announcement about Harry Potter's collectible card game with RPG and MMO elements. Harry Potter! Is that? Okay, you get the idea. See, this one I didn't see. What is this Twitter thread that I have embedded? What am I looking at? What?
Well, Mr. Bibby sent me this morning, not me, but Mr. OG Bibby sent me this morning. A Twitch rivalry for the ages of Empire 2. So it's two Twitch streamers who are going head to head live on Twitch and have been streaming for over 50 hours, but both refusing to forfeit. So they're both taking it in turns to try and sleep, whilst the other tries and takes down their fortresses, but they can't. You get the whole gist. You'll be able to read this Twitter thread and get it as well. But yeah, this is wild. I love this kind of stuff.
Nice. So we'll go through that, and then we will wrap up with your free game Friday. It's Friday, so naturally, if you're a PC user, you get a game for free every week. We will tell you exactly what the game is, so do stick around for that one. It's a good one, actually. It's a good one. I mean, obviously not right now. We tell you about next week's free game, so you can we tell you what you can get right now and what you can look forward to. It's like a double whammy every week, so we will do that. But first, let's get all zombified as we jump into the news that 8 years after its announcement, Dead Island 2, if I can get it on my screen, there we go, could finally release this year. Do you know, all I'm going to say is I have heard this 3 or 4 times before. We a long time ago used to do Dead Island social media. We don't do it anymore, but we did the Dead Island social media around Dead Island and then into Dead Island 2, and that contract has probably been up for 5 years, maybe less, and the game still isn't out. So I've heard this before. Excuse me, 1 second.
Sneeze.
Nice pre-article burp. No, it was a burp. We'll get it. Yeah, nice. Straight into it. Okay, Dead Island 2 is still in active development at Dambuster Studios and could release this year, it's claimed. That's according to industry insider Tom Henderson, who claims in a YouTube video that he's been speaking to people close to the game's development and that it's reportedly in a good state. Quote, according to everyone that I've been speaking to, the game... decent state? Okay, I'm guessing that should be. Yeah, the
game's in a decent state.
Yeah, not the sentence isn't, but the game is. Nice. So the game, let's edit that one for him. The game is in a decent state. And we've broken Bib. Okay, start again. According to everyone that I've been speaking to, the game is in a decent state and it could be announced pretty soon with some kind of gameplay trailer, he said. A release date expected to be somewhere in Q4 2022, possibly leading up to next year if there is any problems with the development cycle. Henderson also provided some insight into the game's plot and the beginning of the game. Quote, you're on a plane and then there's a zombie outbreak on a plane. Eventually the plane crashes into Hollywood. You survive and it's your job to survive on the ground, and then it's your job to survive on the ground. Dead Island 2 was first announced in 2014 and has since suffered a series of delays and changes of developer. Originally developed by Jaeger Development, the game was then taken over by Sumo Digital, and in 2019, Dambuster, an internal studio of Deep Silver, took over the development of the game. When the game was first revealed, the plot was said to revolve around the United States Armed Forces putting California under quarantine in 2020. In 2020, a leaked version of the game, said to be from 2015, made its way online. Interesting period. So a game that was announced in 2014, developed by Jaeger, was then yeeted over to Sumo Digital, who did something with it for 5 years, and then it then got taken off them and then dropped into Dambuster Studios. To give you a little bit of information, this is owned by the whole Koch brand, which owns Deep Silver and the like. So it being put into Dambuster, which is an internal studio. I don't know if this is an official thing, by the way. I'm not giving anything. I'm talking about stuff that I don't know about here, which is what I'm comfortable talking about. I assume it was given to Dambuster as like, okay, we've tried twice using external sources. Let's just give it to someone internally that we know what they can do. Boom, you guys look after it. So the fact that it was given to them in 2019 and we're now in 2020 at the point where it could just be about to come out, that does kind of sound like extremely plausible to me. They've taken it in-house, and 2 years later, they're getting ready to drop something towards the end of the year. Yeah, makes sense. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely adored the first two games of Dead Island. I hated the first one. Like, when it came out, I hated it. Like, I didn't play it. Well, I bought it, got rid of it within like a couple of days. Like, I just couldn't get you. I don't know what was. There was something wrong with the game that I couldn't get my head around, and it was only like, I don't know, maybe 2 years later that I borrowed it off my friend, and then couldn't put it down. Genuinely, like, it was. I don't know what had changed, or if it had been patched or anything like that, but something just clicked, and I was obsessed with this game. And then obviously Riptide came out as well. And fun fact, I think I mentioned it on the show as well, but my first ever game review was off Dead Island Riptide, which is no longer available on my YouTube channel because it was horrendous. I think when we talked about this last time, it might have even been 2 years ago when we covered this last. I think I released it for a day, and then people got to watch it and go, "Wow!" Like, I can't. Yeah, it wasn't the best thing, but that was kind of foot in the door stuff. But I can't wait for this game. Do you remember the trailer, Graham? It was probably one of the best trailers that I'd seen for a video game ever at the time of it coming out in 2014.
I remember both. I remember the initial Dead Island trailer, which was one of my. It was the Dead Island. The initial Dead Island trailer was as impactful as the opening scenes of The Last of Us for me, and then Dead Island 2 was for me not as impactful because it was kind of like funny versus the emotive element, but it was still as good, just not as emotive. It was a different. It was going for a different emotion. And it hit that emotion perfectly. It was just a less emotionally significant emotion. So yeah, it was two very, very different but very, very good trailers. Very, very good. It was the dude running down Miami Beach while everything just went to shit kind of thing.
Yeah. And as he's running, he's turning into a zombie as well. So he's like this really fit runner, had his iPod on his arm and stuff, and his music blaring. He's running down. I want to say Miami Beach. I don't think it was that, but it looks like he's running down like Miami Beach.
Yeah, because Miami's Florida a bit. Yeah, Hollywood kind of thing.
So he's running down, and then he slowly starts to morph into a zombie with like his skin falling off. And then, for years and years afterwards, no one knew. I don't think anyone actually knew the answer to this, but it sounded like Jack Black was one of the characters' voices who was in the van. And I don't know if it was true. I mean, it's not on his IMDb or anything. It could have just been someone who's sounds exactly like Jack Black. But he takes the head off the zombie and then lets somebody into the van, and then they end up driving off again. And that was like the only trailer that we got for it. But I've been waiting for this game to come out since it got announced. I'm well into this series. I told you before we went live that I actually bought the remastered versions on Xbox maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, because it was down. Both of them was for £4. So I was like, yeah, I'm picking up both of those. I need to play I need to play through them again because they are just fantastic games. In fact, I actually remember maybe 3 years ago, didn't Luke stream Dead Island on Halloween when we used to do Fright Week?
I've streamed it at some point. I don't know if it was then with Luke. Luke might have streamed it as well, actually. I can't quite remember. I know I've streamed it at some point. The trailer's on the screen, by the way, for those that haven't seen the Dead Island 2 trailer. And this is 8 years old, this trailer. But it's
old gen.
Yeah, it's still good though. Like the quality of you can tell the texturing of the grounds and the distance and stuff. You can tell stuff has come along, but it still looks decent in terms of it almost looks like Fortnite because it doesn't look super textured and detailed. It looks like animation rather than something trying to be realistic. But this back then would have probably been pushing for full-on realism. But
I mean, back then, this is 2014, so this could arguably be pre PS4, pre Xbox One. This could have still been on the 360. It could have come out for both. So it's 2 gens old.
Such a good trailer. He's such a good trailer. He's starting to. Oh no. It all goes wrong. Do you know what? Spoilers. I'm going to pause it there. If you haven't seen it, you want to watch the rest of it, we'll put the link to the trailer in the chat. It's really, really good. The one I was watching was on PlayStation Australia. It's probably on all of the PlayStation channels around the world, but there you go. There is the link to it. That is... Oh, do you know, I'm not even in the split screen. Bibby's still on small screen. That's how rushing we are to get into this. Hi, Bib. Hey. So the link is in the chat if you do want to watch that video. Hello there. Ni-chi. Oh. Alrit. Vice Beach, Venice. Venice Beach, okay, yeah, I get you. It's a janky game, but always enjoyed them. Nichio. Did you see West's Crumpet video in the Discord, Nichio? Good efforts all round. Okay, we're gonna put the pin in this. Usually we would talk a little bit longer, but we've got about 40 minutes left of the show, ish. Probably not even that much. So we're gonna move on. So 8 years after its initial announcement, Dead Island 2 could finally release this year. That's according to industry insiders that have had conversations with people, taking into account all the facts. The fact that this has been in development, has been passed from 2 developers previously into an internal studio at Deep Silver, which is owned by Koch Media, which is the parent brand of the title. Doesn't surprise me that 2 to 3 years later we are finally getting the game coming out. So wouldn't be surprised if we get Halloween releases for Dead Island towards the end of the year. That would work perfectly. So there you go. That's what it is. The Fright Night sort of video that we can watch Bib and Mrs. Bib shit themselves this year to. Wouldn't be Visage. It'll be Dead Island 2. Let's go. Okay, moving ahead, away from zombies and then back into a different horde of zombies. Resident Evil 4's remake will reportedly be announced soon. TM. That is written once again by Jordan Midler at VGC. The new game will make changes to the original's tone, it's claimed. Briefly, changes to the original's tone. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Or is Resident Evil 4 tone-wise a good game? What are you saying?
I don't know what it means. That's what I'm trying to decipher. I'll come back to you.
What it means, but it's provocative. It gets the Bibby going.
Gets the people going.
So Capcom's remake of Resident Evil 4 will reportedly be revealed this year and will make some changes to the setting of the original game. That's according to a new Fanbyte report corroborating a VGC report from last year, which claims Capcom is planning to adjust the tone of the classic Resi game instead of developing a shot-for-shot remake of the original title. VGC reported in 2021 that there were internal disagreements with Capcom about the direction of the project, with the company's own production team preferring to develop a game that was inspired by the original but incorporates new elements. Resident Evil 2's Mr. X was given as an example. Fanbyte now reports that one of the elements that will change is the game's opening sequence will take place at night. Quote, in Resident Evil 4 Remake, the famous village introduction set piece takes place at night, as does a decent portion of the rest of the game, the publication states. Fanbyte also reports that Capcom hopes to reveal this game this year. As reported by VGC in 2020, Capcom greenlit a Resident Evil 4 Remake following the success of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3's remakes. Development was originally led by M2, a new studio we revealed had been founded by former Platinum Games head Tatsuya Minami. However, by 2021, M2 had seen its role significantly reduced to the unannounced project, a mainline Resident Evil studio. Capcom Division 1 had been drafted to lead the game in a different direction. At the time, we report that it was believed that the disagreements that led to M2's reduced role involved the studio's desire to stick faithfully to the template of the original Resident Evil 4, partly influenced by the backlash to Resident Evil 3's remake, which did not include significant portions of the original PlayStation game, much to Bibby's disappointment, as we've heard about on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, sorry, it didn't actually say that, the paragraph. I thought it did. It just says disappointment. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, we'll stop there. Okay, Bib.
Yes.
Does that make it any clearer for you?
Yes and no, because my immediate thought was they're going to try and do what they did with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 with their remakes, which, again, for all intents and purposes, 2 was a fantastic remake. It was the settings was different at the beginning. So obviously you started off at a petrol station rather than the next to the tanker that explodes in the original one. And you're already on the streets of Raccoon City. But this one, Resident Evil 2 Remake, you started off at a petrol station. So I do like the tone of it moving tonight. I think they had to probably do it in the day on the PlayStation 2 because of the lighting issues. I don't think the lighting would have been great if they did the entire game in night. But now with the likes of ray tracing and 4K TVs and things like the blacks being able to pop, I think basing it in the evening would make a lot of sense. I mean, you can see from the screenshot that's in the middle of the article. Obviously, it starts off in the village and one of the police officers being burned at the stake. Like, imagine the glow of the fire as the policeman's being burned at the stake. It's in the evening in the village. I don't know whether or not the village will have some lights knocking around, or it will just be complete darkness and you're moving around the policeman who's being burnt alive, and that's the only light that you get. I think the atmosphere would be completely different to that game, which is great. I understand that, but it's what they end up doing with the likes of Resident Evil 3, where they're removing significant parts of the game, which I imagine people will be more critical about, rather than some of the scenes being changed. Like, yeah, I wait with bated breath as to what. I mean, this hasn't even officially been announced yet, so it's all just pure speculation at this moment in time. I've heard from somebody at this place that they are doing something right now. Who knows? Who knows what's happening? But I'm excited to play more a Resident Evil 4 that has more modern controls. I think using the RE engine and a new control set like what 2 and 3 have would be ideal, because going back and playing these games now where you have to move and aim with the same analog stick is a bit of a pain in the ass. I mean, it did get upchanged for the HD collection on the last gen consoles, but yeah, I'm excited to play more Resident Evil. I mean, I would like more new Resident Evils, but 4 for me was the beginning of the end in terms of it turning into an action game. And I know that's a controversial opinion. I think more people are probably getting that opinion nowadays, rather than it being the be-all and end-all when it comes to Resident Evil games. 2 will always be my favourite. 2 Remake is now my favourite Resident Evil game of all time. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with Resident Evil 4. We've got a long road to go down it. I just need to see more from it.
Yeah. Well, I've got a quote from noted industry leaker Theodore Knott, or Ted Knott, as his note, or Tito, says they're changing it into a racing game instead of horror.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, this is the new Disney crossover game that we were talking about yesterday from the Nintendo Direct.
It's free to play, baby.
So the new game is going to make changes to the original tone. It is claimed. Obviously, as Bibby said, we don't know. This is early days. We've only just had leaks on leaks. We haven't had official announcements, so we can't really talk on it. I'm not against the idea of them adjusting it, though. Like, I do agree, without having played Resident Evil 3 myself, but from taking it secondhand from Bibby's comments, that you can change games for the better. Like Resident Evil 2 obviously made changes to the original, and that's now Bibby's favourite game. Resident Evil 3, yeah. they cut out parts of the game that were quite significant to fans, at least, if not to the storyline, at least to the fans. I'm saying if not to the storyline. It could be, I don't know, I've not played it. But it's significant enough for me to know that it's a thing that's missing, and I haven't played it. So yeah, okay, make the right changes, and fair enough to what they called M2. Fair enough to those for wanting to keep true to the original. I like that, but you build. There's so much more available to developers now. The technology available opens up doors that I mean, doors is quite an operative word for a Resident Evil game. It opens up doors that you were held to because of technical limitations, quite literally. So make use of it. Make use of it. And ray tracing, as Bibby mentioned, but high dynamic range as well. Just having HDR, that means that the darks are really dark, but the lighter darks, you can tell, okay, it's not just this is day and this is night. It's like, okay, well, yeah, this tones and shades and that, yeah, nice. Resident Evil house flipper. But, I mean, that's Bibby on one hand and Bibby on the other hand. So yeah,
I would absolutely love that. It'd be so good.
Resicat, says Tito. Yep. On that one, we'll put a pin in the Resident Evil racing spin-offs. Resident Evil.
Nice work.
Thank you very much. Enough, though. Enough. We are keeping up with the fast-paced show as we jump into our next news story. This one is not about remakes, but something entirely new. Ishraq Subhan at Eurogamer says, Warner Brothers announces Harry Potter collectible card game with RPG and MMO elements. Magical multiplayer online. So Warner Brothers has announced a new mobile collectible card game in the Harry Potter universe featuring MMO and RPG elements. Harry Potter Magic Awakened. Let me hit play on this. Keep it muted though. Developed by NetEase and co-published by WB Games under Portkey Games, will let players collect and level over 70 cards to be used in PvP brawls and PvE challenges. The game is set 10 years after the defeat of Voldemort in the Battle of Hogwarts and involves a new generation of witches and wizards. You'll also get to roam around Hogwarts or fly over the school on a broom, brew potions, take part in the Sorting Hat ceremony, and play Quidditch. Ooh. Android users can pre-register for the game on the Google Play Store here, with registration for iPhone and iPad coming soon. The game has been available since September in China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, as well as other Asian markets towards the end of 2021. The announcement today marks the game's planned release this year in Europe and America. What was the name of it? I've lost it. Harry Potter Magic Awakened, a new mobile MMO/RPG-ish game. Are you interested, babe?
I do love a good card game, Graham. It's weird. Over like the last 2 years, I've kind of got back into it again, and I love things like the Pokemon trading card games and Legends of Runeterra. I wanted to call it something, Tales of Runeterra, and I wanted to call it something completely different. But yeah, I'm interested to see what this game is like, because it's a card game that's based around RPG and MMO. Like, that seems pretty wild. And like Tito's saying, get your wallets ready. Like, I can imagine it being pretty microtransaction heavy, but when it comes to card games, I tend to want to be able to collect stuff like with my own money and be able to use it in a game. Like, the best formula that I've seen is the Pokemon one, where you can buy a pack of Pokemon cards. It's got a QR code in there. You can scan the QR code and then it uploads to your actual digital deck as well, so you can play people all around the world. That's the best formula for me. But in terms of stuff that's just digital only, yeah, I can see this being a money sink, which is why I need to see a little bit more of it before I actually want to be able to play it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Harry Potter, which is a British story about a British school for wizards, which is huge in all of the UK, obviously, and Europe, and America. There is theme parks dedicated to it, but Europe and America are only just being confirmed that the game is going to be released in those regions, but it was released last year throughout all of Asia. And I think that probably defines the kind of game that it's going to be. Yeah. So it's not necessarily the IP that's plastered all over it. You could effectively take Harry Potter Magic Awakened and make it Resident Evil Magic Awakened or whatever. Zombies Awakened. So it doesn't really matter what branding it is. It's the gameplay mechanics behind it. And that, as you can see with it being released in Asia, they probably feel this applies to the Asian markets more. So we will introduce it there, where games with high financial turnover, maybe that's not what it is, but we'll go with that angle first. The precedents have been set. People like it. People understand that kind of game. We will roll it out in Asia, see if it takes off, and then we will push it off to the rest of the world off the back of Asian acceptance. And it seems like it's doing very well if they are looking at pushing it out in Europe, UK, and Americas across this year. So nice. Not for me. I will sit there and wait for Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy myself, but
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Even as a non-Harry Potter fan, it might get to the point where if I'm not able to play games, I'm able to still be able to watch TV and watch films. I may start watching and go back through the Harry Potter films, because I think I've watched at least the first two. I may have seen bits of the other ones, but actually just go and sit down and watch them for what they are and see if I can actually get into them. But I mean, the game, regardless, I'll be getting. I want to be able to play that. I want to be invested in that world.
There's a really good meme online about the Harry Potter films. If you've only seen the first two, then you're missing a big change, because it's like the Harry Potter films, the first two films, and it's Mickey Mouse stood there like, oh, hi kids, and then it's like the next five films, and it's like like some dark, dingy, creepy sort of like Resident Evil thing, and that is it.
I'm sold.
The first two films are like Disney did Harry Potter, and then after that it just goes dark and like it's not, it's obviously still a family-ish film, but it's a much dark, not like everything from the artwork and the set designs and stuff changes hugely. So yeah,
nice.
I would recommend it. If you watch the first two films, they're nice and fluffy, but then it gets like shit just got real. So yeah. Firstly, the licensing costs will be huge. Secondly, being on mobile, hosting costs are huge, can and will be massively expensive. I played Marvel Strike Force and it used to be a huge time sink, but you didn't need to spend money. Now you need to spend huge amounts of time and money. Apparently licensing is 30% of their profits alone. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, because we have seen this game is being released by Portkey Games, which is the Harry Potter Wizarding World gaming brand owned by WB Games. So we've seen Hogwarts Legacy is coming from Portkey Games. Harry Potter Magic Awakened is coming from Portkey Games / is out in Asia from Portkey Games. We also saw, can't remember what it's called. It's just been wrapped up, or it's just about to be wrapped up. It's the Harry Potter Hogwarts thingy game, which is effectively a knockoff of Pokemon Go, but for mobile games. And that apparently was earning millions, but when you've got to pay for all of the Harry Potter licensing stuff, it was like, okay, well, we are earning millions, but we want to be earning tens or hundreds of millions, not just a few million here and there. So the effort that we go in just to get a few $1 million, nah, you're all right, mate. So they've pulled that because it's not doing what Pokemon Go is doing. So they want to take that away. And I think that's probably where this comes in. Okay, why do we have two Harry Potter games muddying the waters when we can just ditch one, keep Pokemon Go, which is made by Niantic, which is another which made that game with Portkey Game, should I say? Okay, let Niantic do the Pokemon Go stuff, and then we will work with Google, which is I think why the game comes out on the Google Play Store first. We've got a good relationship with Google. We will just shelve the Harry Potter game that's Pokemon Go alike, and we'll just go with this one instead. Makes sense? We'll just earn tons of millions instead of just a few million. Nice. Okay, putting a pin in that one then. Warner Brothers announces Harry Potter collectible card game with RPG and MMO elements. Nice. Now let's get into a twit off. So with this, am I just going down the thread?
Yeah. So there's three tweets by Jake, and he kind of gives you the rundown of what it is. I mean, it's not going to be the most in-depth story. I just think it's something that needs to be brought to other people's attention because this stuff still does exist.
Nice. I mean, that's the thing though. You often, Twitter is a very professional space now. I know this is coming from the same platform where our streams start with 2 different fart clips in it, so do take that with a pinch. Twitch is a professional platform, but it is much more professional. Streamers now are aware of their impact, and that their eyes and their actions are not just always watched, but are being watched by brands, and all of that comes into the fact that things are just a little bit less naturally chaotic. Life is chaos. Chaos is unorganized, and life often is organized. Is unorganized. We just try to make it organized, and Twitch reflects that. So sometimes when you get the unorganized shit that comes into the organization, and it's like, oh my god, this is fucking actually really cool. Yeah, like Twitch plays Pokemon, unorganized chaos that someone tried to organize and turned into something that everyone got in the queue to play. That's wonderful. But stuff like that doesn't happen as much anymore because of how big and how successful Twitch is, and how big some channels are. That the little things that were cool trendsetters often go unnoticed. So it's nice when stuff like this happens. So yeah, let's jump in. Jake Sucky, aka Jake Lucky, on Twitter says there are currently 2 Age of Empires streamers known as Andre2i and Rubenstock who have been playing a ranked game versus each other for 51 hours. So 2 days and 3 hours at the point of this being posted yesterday, with neither side wanting to quit, and Ruben is now sleeping / AFK. Andre has restarted his stream once already and is hoping Ruben draws. So then we go down a little bit further. Both streamers are now sleeping and AFKing, refusing to forfeit. Lol. And then we fast forward 4 hours onto that one, which was 12 hours ago. I was wrong. It's been nearly 62 hours now, with Ruben saying he thinks this game will go 200 hours and he wouldn't forfeit even for $2,000. Dude is a madman. What? I want to know where we're up to with this. This was 12 hours ago. What the fuck? Okay, I'm going to see if there's any other responses to that. No, there isn't. No.
I'm gonna go to the stream now. I'm gonna go to the stream and see if it's still going on. Like, this is mad. Like, this is people. This is people's thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it sounds pathetic. Like, people playing this game for 62 hours. But if these are two people who are heavily invested in Age of Empires and it's their entire reputation on the line, why would you? Like, hope for the draw.
I love shit like this because these are the things, like, I can imagine us doing this, like, with something like, say we started, I don't know, some sort of event, maybe not just your casual PUBG stream or whatever. We started doing something, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is turning into something, and then people start watching, and then the Rolling Stone starts to gather nomos, but it picks up all the fucking momentum. It's like, okay, all the cobwebs are gone. Everyone's watching this now. This has turned into something a little bit more substantial. And for these guys, I mean, I don't know how. Let me click Andre 2. Let's bring him up on stream. I'm going to give him a little bit of a mutage. So Andre, 650 people watching him. 648 watching him play the game at the moment. There he is. There's his Age of Empires stream. I will not keep it on stream because obviously we don't know the channel, and he might be like, you're just using my channel for content. Get the fuck out of here. So he might not be. He might be like, yeah, talk about whatever. But we don't know. So anyway, they have found something that's just a little bit of, like, almost a once in a lifetime or once in a year or whatever sort of things that's just popped, and people start to generate wider interest. This can build channels, so fucking go for it, boys. Yeah, 5 days in, let's go. I mean,
someone just put in the chat, in the 50-hour one, they had 3 hours of rest. That's absolutely insane. So in 2 days, just over 2 days, they've had 3 hours sleep and they've been playing this for. Like, this is crazy. I've just had a look at the guy's bio, and he said he's been playing Age of Empires 2 at a very high level. He's available on Fiverr for coaching. So, like, this is purely down to reputation. And I don't blame him. I don't blame them whatsoever in keeping this going.
The fact that he's got 650 viewers and his channel's 2.3 thousand followers. Like, if you've got 2.3 thousand followers, you don't get 2.3 thousand viewers. It doesn't work like that. That's not how the numbers come through. You're lucky if you get 23 viewers if you've got 2.3 thousand. If you can bring in 1% of your viewers, that's nice once you get to that sort of size. He's got a lot more than that. He's running at like 40%-ish kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure he'd be happy with that. Maybe not 30-ish, but you get the idea. So yeah, GG's nice. I like this. I'd love to see more of this. And if anyone wants a 24-hour PUBG off, then let's go, BB. Let's go.
This game came out in 99. That's how old this game is, and it's still got people heavily addicted to it. It's mental.
Madness. Yeah, big fan of stuff like that. I just imagine us going, yeah, sorry, Mark. We aren't actually going to do any of the actual Jelly Media work for the next 2 weeks because we are currently balls deep in WWE 2K Royal Rumble. And we're in one corner and Billy Big Bollocks is in the other corner, and we've got no health. Whoever gets punched is basically going down and is getting lobbed over the rope. So we're just basically having a stare off for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no worries. See you in a bit. Bye. Oh, yes, please. Okay, so Andre 2i versus Ruben Stock is live. You can go watch it. There's at least 650 people. I imagine probably the same on the other side of the fence as well. So go check them out. Do drop in, give them some encouragement. It's nice to see small streamers starting to break through. Even, especially, I say small streamers. I don't like that phrase. I don't like the phrase small streamers. You're not a small streamer. You're a streamer that just people don't know about. So I like the fact that these. As we say, we are the coolest channel on Twitch that you've never heard of in our intro video. So I like to see cool channels that you've not heard of doing things and getting recognised. So let's go, boys. Apart from when we're tuning in 5 days' time and they all look like Hagrid / Dumbledore from Harry Potter. Anyway... If you're looking for something to play, maybe you want to find a game that you can play for 24 hours on Twitch, maybe 50 hours, as some sort of thing. Well, Age of Empires could be that game, but if you're wanting something else that's free, then maybe it could be this. As your Free Game Friday announcement comes in from Tom Ivan at VGC, and it is Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. That will be next week's free Epic Game Store title. The court game will replace Windbound, which is currently free to download on February the 17th. So if you have a PC, you have Epic Game Store, jump on right now and get Windbound. It's free to play for the next week until next Thursday evening when it'll be replaced by this, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. The article says next week's free Epic Game Store title will be Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. The co-op adventure written and directed by Hazelight founder Joseph Fares is set to be offered free of charge on Epic's marketplace from February the 17th to the 24th. The news was announced on Thursday by Epic Games following an earlier leak by Deal Labs user Bill Cunn. He fucking nails it every week, that Bill Cunn. He's got someone on the inside that's just full on stories. So the same source previously leaked the PlayStation Plus, the Xbox Live Gold lineups on multiple occasions, as well as numerous Epic Game Stores promotions. So this week's free title, as said, is Windbound, and that will stay there until 4 p.m. Thursday evening, February the 17th. Nice. So Epic just confirmed 89 free titles given away last year. Whew. I got probably 86 of them. Have you played this, babe?
I haven't, but I have it on very good authority that it is a very, very good game.
Yeah, I seem to remember Gary Clark talking about this. I could be wrong. If Gary Clark, I don't know if you're in the chat. If I am name dropping you and I'm attributing quotes here, then nice. If you didn't do it, then I apologize. But I seem to remember him talking about it at the time, saying it's actually a really, really good game. And Hazelight Studios / Joseph Fares made A Way Out, which me and Bibby played. Exceptional game. And they also made It Takes Two, which has just won tons of Game of the Year awards for 2021. So it's definitely come from good stock. Obviously before all of those, so you have to scale it back a little bit. But yeah, it's still got to be good. Nice. I don't really understand games with gold. Why hasn't it just been brought into Game Pass? Because there are still people out there that don't have Game Pass. Like, I mean, I don't even have games with gold. I don't have gold anymore at the moment. But I was occasionally jumping in and getting my games with gold. I didn't understand games with gold because it was always super convoluted for logging in. You had to do it on the 1st of the month to get some games, and then on the 15th of the month to get some more. And it was just like, why are you making me jump through all these hoops? This is so user friendly. So then Microsoft went, oh, actually, by the way, we'll just give you all of the games that exist on Xbox for free instead. Okay, that's better. Yes, Game Pass, that's the one I'll take, please. And then I still don't have it. So yeah, no, I agree. It's a bit, yeah, it's fine. Games with gold, get out of here. Why do I have visions of Cartman in the South Park episode when they all start playing WoW? Ma'am.
Yeah, I love that episode. That's one of my favorite episodes. That, and where they all try to be superheroes, and Butters gets a Death Star in his eye and has to pretend to be a dog to go to a vet. Two of my favorite episodes of all time.
I've not seen that one.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
The thing is, you say that and it sounds like the most bizarre storyline ever, and then you go, it's South Park, and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, very plausible.
That makes sense.
I'll send you the link to that clip. Like, it's amazing. It makes me piss. I pretend to be a dog. Yes, well, I go, woo, because I won't take it to the hospital because I get in trouble. It's amazing.
Did you know that if you have an Xbox, you can get Game Pass where, for a low monthly fee of only $10.99, you can get access to 100 games, including day one release, and even your Ubisoft and Activision game. Plus, you can even get the first 3 months for £1. Exclamation mark Game Pass in the chat triggers that. Let's go. show. Tell you what else it triggers. The end of the show. As mentioned, we're going to fly through this. We have only been live for 50 minutes. That includes the countdown and the intro. But we've got a call in 19 minutes. Well, I do, so I need to get things wrapped up, jump off and jump into the call. But let me give you some reminders before we go anywhere. This isn't it for the content for the week. The scoop might be done. We might have had 5 episodes all in the can, but we also have 2-ish additional streams coming for you this weekend. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.-ish, I will be jumping back on with some PUBG. So do feel free to join me for some PUBG fun times. I jump in, maybe play some solos, maybe play some duos, maybe play some squads. We'll see who's about. We'll just see where the road takes us. We'll venture out into the battlegrounds and see where it ends up. So do feel free to join me then. Sunday morning, we potentially could be jumping in with some Skyrim. Bibby wants to play Skyrim. It's just whether Bibby wants to let him play some Skyrim. So we will see. We will see. Timeless. What the hell? Started clear 10 a.m. went under an hour. I know. It's because we got important work. You see, what usually happens is calls for me are usually between 9 and 10, maybe 11-ish, whereas I have a call today at 12. So it's the other way around. People usually go, can we get a 10 a.m. call? So the 10 a.m. call lasts 10 till 11 or whatever. Then you have the post-call stuff, and then we have to prep for the show. So we don't usually get going live until about 12-ish, whereas today it's the other way around. It's a lunchtime call, so we've pushed things early. So there you go. Now you know. Welcome. Now you know. Now you know. The more you know. I call imposters in. Imposters in Graham and Bibby's skin. Yeah, possibly. You prep for this? What, the call or the scoop? Yes, in both senses. Yes. I have my notes here. I'm not letting you see it, but I have notes. So yes.
Lunchtime on a Friday, I call goths.
Yeah, no comments.
Wow.
No comments. I actually don't mind a lunchtime call. See, I'm quite flexible when it comes to lunch. Lunch for me is between 12 and half 2, so I can eat at any point within that. Whereas some people are
3
like
3 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually. Some people go, it's 12 noon, it's dinner time. Soon as the clock ticks over, you just hear the unclicking of a Tupperware lid as the ham and cheese butties come out, and it's like, all right, Steve, calm down.
No, you wear the Tupperware, and then you hear a PlayStation go beep.
No, that's in our office. Very few offices. It's not even the PlayStation beep. It's the beep beep beep. As all go live at the same time as the team jump into another squad game on Fortnite and get absolutely slapped if it's anything like normal. But there you go. No good now, though, is it? Telling me after the fact. I'm up at 3 a.m. to prep for this. Well, you know. Or Invasion of the Bibby Snatch. Invasion of the Bibby Snatchers. Invasion of the Bibby Snatch. That's something else, Tito, that one. Yeah, it's good job you changed it up. Gonna have to get some extra time next week with GJ. I should have. Yeah. I should think so as well. Like Special Agent Lundy from Dexter. I can't remember Special Agent Lundy. Are you on about the TV series? Or are we talking about Dexter's Lab? Because if it's Dexter's Lab, then that's why I don't remember. If you're about the TV series, then that's why I don't remember. So, I mean, when you say Dexter, there is in Dexter's laboratory lives the smartest boy you've ever seen.
But did he close his experiments to smithereens?
And there is doom and gloom while things go boom. Danielle's downstairs. She's working, but I'm going for it. Index. Okay, no, we're not.
No, we're not. She's working. Sorry, I can't do it. Index. Quiet version. Nice. The TV series Always Eats His Lunch on Time. Okay, there you go. Not seen it. Not seen it. Don't know. It was the old FBI. Not seen it. I've seen like 2 episodes. Ish. Anyway, on that bombshell, we are about to disappear. But before we do, fresh from the swig, Mr. Bib, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Yes, there is. Thank you very much for joining us for each and every single episode of The Scoop this week. There is 5 ready for you to digest if you haven't done so already. But if you want to help shape our next show, which will be over the week after the weekend, there is 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media profiles, including Hover, which you have just reached 50 followers on. So we very much appreciate everyone who has done that for us. Been over there, followed, liked, super GG'd, and also commented on the videos over there. We very much appreciate that. But a small tangent aside, You can also find us on Discord. All we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow? Oh, sorry. What time on Monday? Mr. Graham Day.
Well, like any other day, and just like today, it'll be at 10 a.m. Let me just ask you guys a favour. If you are on Hover and you haven't thrown out any GG likes today, then Kylo Ren would appreciate your support. If you can just click on that post, go through and hit the GG like button on it, because no one's GG like that. I've got my Kylo Ren helmet and everything. I was really proud of that one. So someone go GG like it. Yeah, very nice. So we've just hit 50 followers on Hover, 1.81k gravity as well. That's big things. That's big things. So appreciate the support. You guys are helping us move fast on there, which is nice to see. Thank you very much for the support. Well, I'm going to have to watch you on YouTube or podcast for shows, today's shows, ain't I? Sorry, Timeless. Them's the rules. But that's the joy of YouTube. We'll see you there. So yeah, do feel free, go check out that post on Hover, do drop some GG likes, and across all of the posts, if you've got a couple of GG likes left unused, drop 2 for the day. Is Gravity the new clout? Pretty much. So we've got a decent amount of clout. For who'd have thunk it? But we are going to disappear, don't go anywhere. We're going to drop a host on one of our friends. If you stick around for the host, you get to make them happy, you get extra channel points for yourselves to spend in this channel, and if you've got, 10,000 of them, you can make me wear a level 3 helmet, like the Kylo Ren one in that post tomorrow as I play PUBG, because we've dropped the price from 30k to 10k just for a little while. Also, you can do it more than once in the stream now. We've upped it to 3, so I fully envisage me just spending half the day sat in my bedroom with different masks on tomorrow, which is going to be great.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
looking forward to it.
Do feel free.
Don't forget, it's the Power Ranger one that you can't see well in. Remember that.
Although I don't mind. It's not so much for me. It's do you want your money's worth? Because if I put the Power Rangers one and I die straight away, you've spent 10k and you've only got 3 minutes of gameplay. So
very good point. So, but if you got 3 times, it might just be 3 different helmets. You know what I mean? What you wait through them?
So it's like we'll have a Power Rangers, suffer bitch. Power Rangers, suffer bitch. Okay, then we'll have a Kylo Ren because you can see pretty well in that one. Let's go again. Let's go. And on that one, nice. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, you beautiful people. We appreciate you sticking around for all of the episodes of The Scoop. As always, for supporting us on Clout, as always, YouTube, all of the podcast places. As always, you've all beautiful people. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. And in true ice creamy fashion, we hope that you guys stay frosty.